But at what cost? All right, people, let's talk tech. It's in our pockets, on our wrists, even in our fridges, telling us we're out of milk. We love our gadgets, right? They connect us, entertain us, make life easier. But here's the catch. All that convenience comes at a price, our privacy. Every click, every swipe, every Google search, it's all tracked, analyzed, and sold. They say data is the new oil. Well, guess what? We're the oil wells. Think about it. Facial recognition software in public spaces, smart speakers recording our conversations, algorithms predicting our every move. It's enough to make you paranoid, and for some people it's not paranoia, it's reality. Ever feel like your phone is listening to your conversations? It's not just you. Those targeted ads popping up after you whisper about needing new shoes? Yeah, that's not a coincidence, but it goes deeper than creepy ads. Tech companies are getting scarily good at manipulating our thoughts and feelings. Algorithms on social media feed us content designed to keep us hooked, enraged, and divided. They call it engagement. We call it brainwashing. We're constantly bombarded with notifications, news alerts, and updates. It's overwhelming. And it's by design. This constant stimulation rewires our brains, making us addicted to the dopamine rush of likes and shares. We're losing control of our own minds, people. And most of us don't even realize it. This brings us to Montel Alexander Bowman. You probably haven't heard of him, but his story is straight out of Black Mirror. Montel claims he's been subjected to some next-level technological torture for the past 40 years. We're talking psychic surveillance, thought manipulation, the whole shebang. He says he can hear the thoughts and feelings of millions of Americans like he's plugged into some kind of collective consciousness matrix. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hassan, this guy sounds unstable. And maybe he is. But what if he's not? What if Montel is a canary in the coal mine, a warning sign of what happens when technology goes too far? He's filed a lawsuit against the US government for a cool $250 billion. Yeah, you heard that right, a quadrillion. He says they're using some kind of super-secret tech to spy on him, control him, and generally make his life a living hell. Look, I'm not saying I believe everything Montel says, but I also don't think we should dismiss him outright. His case, however outlandish it may seem, raises some serious questions about the future of technology and its impact on our fundamental rights. We know governments and corporations are already collecting massive amounts of data on us. We know they're developing increasingly sophisticated AI and surveillance technologies. So is it really that far-fetched to believe that someone, somewhere, is working on technology that could manipulate our thoughts and emotions? The line between science fiction and reality is getting blurrier every day. And if we're not careful, we might wake up one day to find ourselves living in a dystopian nightmare where our own minds are no longer our own. The problem is the law is lagging way behind the technology. Our current legal frameworks are ill-equipped to deal with the unprecedented challenges posed by things like artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and predictive policing. The Patriot Act, for example, was passed after 9/11 to supposedly combat terrorism, but it's become a blank check for government surveillance, allowing them to collect data on innocent citizens without any real oversight. And don't even get me started on the lack of regulation around facial recognition technology. This stuff is being used by law enforcement agencies across the country with little to no transparency or accountability. It's a recipe for racial profiling and discrimination. We need new laws, people. Laws that protect our digital rights with the same vigor that they protect our physical rights. Because in the 21st century, they're one and the same. Let's talk about big tech for a second. These companies have more power and influence than ever before. They control the platforms we use to communicate, the information we consume, and the products we buy. They claim to be all about innovation and connecting the world, but let's be real, their primary motivation is profit, and they're making billions by exploiting our data and manipulating our behavior. We're told we have a choice. We can choose to opt out, to delete our accounts, to go off the grid, but in reality that's not really an option for most of us. Technology is so deeply embedded in our lives that to disconnect completely would mean cutting ourselves off from society. We're trapped in a system that profits from our attention, our data, and ultimately our freedom. And the scariest part is most of us are totally oblivious to how it's all happening. Some people say I'm being alarmist. They say, "Relax, Hassan, it's just a few targeted ads, what's the big deal?" But here's the thing. It always starts small. First it's targeted ads, then it's personalized news feeds that reinforce our existing biases. Then it's algorithms that predict and manipulate our behavior. Where does it end? Do we really want to live in a world where our every thought, feeling, and action is monitored and controlled by algorithms? Where the line between reality and virtual reality is so blurred that we can no longer tell the difference? This isn't just a sci-fi movie, people. This is the future we're headed towards if we don't wake up and start demanding better. So, what can we do? First, we need to start talking about digital rights. Our right to privacy, our right to control our own data, our right to mental autonomy. These rights are just as important as any other human right, and it's time we start treating them that way. We need to demand transparency from tech companies. We need to hold them accountable for the ways they collect, use, and sell our data. And we need to push for strong regulations that protect our digital rights. This isn't about being anti-technology, it's about ensuring that technology serves humanity, not the other way around. It's about creating a future where technology enhances our lives without compromising our freedom. We need to educate ourselves and each other about the potential dangers of unchecked technological advancement. We need to have open and honest conversations about the kind of future we want to create. The fight for digital rights is the defining battle of our generation. The stakes have never been higher. The future of our minds, our freedoms, and our very humanity hangs in the balance. Montel Alexander Bowman's case may seem like an extreme example, but it's a stark reminder of what's at stake. We can't afford to wait until it's too late. We need to act now. We need to fight for our minds. We need to demand a future where technology empowers us, not enslaves us. The time for complacency is over. The time to act is now, because if we don't, we might just wake up one day to find that we've already lost the fight for our own minds.